Okay, let's just wait for uh, people to come back. Is this better for those who are watching? Um, I have restarted it. The beauty of technology, right? So, uh, for those who are watching, is it better now? I think it's okay. Tita Vicky, is this better now? Uh, okay. Okay. So, uh, I have a theory here. So it's probably an internet problem, and this will be a good reminder of what's going on. This is the first day of school for many of our, not just our parishioners, but everyone around the country. This is the first day of school, and a lot of them are using the internet right now. So I have a feeling that that has an impact with our with the internet. So there's a strong demand right now. And there, error loading again. Oh my God, what's going on here? I just hope that everything will be okay. So nothing on YouTube. Nothing on YouTube. Let's check YouTube, okay? I think Riz is watching. We have okay. I think YouTube is working. I think YouTube is working. Try again. Try again. Just reset it, and probably you'll see it again. Okay. Okay. Works. Yeah, I know. It's a like even your devices, things are not working ideally. So it's not just on my end as a broadcaster. Even for those who are watching, there are other problems. I believe that this is something that we have to accept because of the higher demand. People are not just watching Netflix, Hulu, or Disney Plus right now. A lot of kids are also using the internet for schooling. So that is the reason why we have a huge demand for the internet. It's like everybody has their electricity on. So that seems to be a problem. So, okay, just a reset there. So, okay, it's nice to be back. It's nice to, and also for the past week, it's good and encouraging that the things that we have in place in terms of our of what we do pastorally, we are grateful to the Lord that we have these opportunities to be able to reach out to more people. There are, of course, more people joining us for the drive-in masses, but still, even though there are huge numbers of parishioners going in for our masses, there are still a lot of our parishioners receiving communion. A lot of them are receiving communion and in the communion car processions, and still we have a lot of those who are attending our drive-in masses. So that means we are slowly getting more people to physically make themselves present. And I guess that is the very heart of the message for today, right? Uh, this the message of presence, which starts our week. We are present. The Lord and His love and grace is present in the Eucharist. The Lord is present with us in the love and care of His Blessed Mother, who is, we just celebrated the Queen of Heaven, and we all know that Mary as Queen is a very Davidic, it's scriptural. We call her Mary as Queen. It is very scriptural if we call Jesus as the Son of David, and if we follow that His kingship follows that pattern, and we learn that truly the one who is considered queen is the mother of the king, and the king also has a governor. Some call it a prime minister, which is found in the prophet Isaiah, and that is embodied by the prophecy to Eliakim, and who is, of course, the new governor of Jerusalem. And we are given that imagery. If the old kingdom of David is a pattern for it's a pattern for the church, we can see that the Lord has a visible assistant. If the king is not to be seen, right? Of course, our king went to heaven, but there is still a visible leadership in the church. We are not a church of ghosts. We are not a church that has we're not consulting someone in the clouds with special means. No, the Lord has entrusted the church to His vicars, to His assistants, and that is the blessing that we have as a church. Okay, so I'd like to, since it's nice to be back, it's nice to be reminded again that the church was given a promise by Jesus Christ that He will be with us, and the gates of the netherworld will not prevail against it. One of those who, I'd like to share something that somebody shared with me yesterday. I did, for those who missed my homily yesterday, why don't you look for it at you can easily go back to the old videos. You go to the Mass yesterday, and I did give a homily about the gospel reading from yesterday, which was on Peter being made the rock on which the Lord will build His church. And I made an emphasis that that is the gift to the church, and the Pope, no matter how, they're not really perfect. There is no pretense at all wherein we say that the popes are perfect people. Peter definitely was not, right? Even during the agony in the garden, when the Lord was arrested in the garden, Peter took out a sword and chopped somebody's ear, right? And that's Peter for you, impulsive. But the Lord sees something beyond that. And it is the leadership of Peter that we look up to, because Jesus Himself is praying for Peter. And the Lord made a promise to the church that even the gates of hell will not prevail against it. People had been calling, many popes are, especially during the Renaissance, during the height of the churches, physical power. You know, the first popes are all martyrs, they're all saints. Then when the church started to experience, it got tainted with material power. And of course, that was corrected by history later on. But when the church was painted with so much material power, remember that was the time of discovery. That was the time wherein finally Europe was free from Muslim domination, especially in Spain. And then Spain suddenly flexed its muscles and went around the world. The time that they went around to the New World was the time, was just immediately after they got rid of the last vestiges of the Moorish Empire in Spain. Imagine that it's a time of rapid growth and rapid wealth. And of course, it also has a corrupting agent. But even during that time, the Lord's promise was still there. I am with you until the end of time, and the gates of the netherworld will not prevail against it. So, of course, there were popes who were not saintly, but the church was able to survive that. There is this, during the time, I forgot the name. I'm going to research on that again. There was this, I think there was this Jew, and this was a story given by one of them. If you're looking for a gossip writer during that era, there's this gossip writer, which is often used by Protestants. They used to describe what the state of the church was. So there's this Jew who wanted to convert to Christianity, and he said to the priest that he asked to help him out. I'm going to Rome. Maybe it might be best that you baptize me now. And then the priest said, no. Just be sure first before you get converted to the Catholic Church. So why don't you just go on your trip first? The priest knows that Rome is a hotbed of corruption during that time. You go to Rome, and then let's talk about it when you get back. And then the Jew came back, and then the priest said, "Okay, what's your discernment? Do you want to still be a Christian or not?" And then the Jew said, "Yes, I still want to become Catholic." He said, "Why? You went on a business transaction in Rome. I think you saw what happened there. What happens there?" And then and this is what the Jew said. I really believe that Jesus Christ is truly running the church, because even though you have these people who muck things up, the church is still surviving. And that is something that is very telling, right? That even the gates of the netherworld will not prevail against it. We have our, especially right now. So, okay. So Jason said, "Father, Lakers are playing great." Is there a game right now? I don't want to watch it because it stresses me out a lot, right? But if they're playing great right now, I think it is game 4, so that is good news. I hope that is current news. Thank you for saying that, Jason. Okay, so I don't need to. I'll just check on it online. Okay, so there we are. So I go back to my story. Somebody told me that based on my homily yesterday, she kept on receiving emails from a relative of hers that is really very anti-Pope, from people who pretend to be Catholic. That for me is, if you're against the Pope, if you really attack the Pope in a very serious way, I think you are just pretending to be Catholic, because you are part of being Catholic is that you have you have obedience and allegiance to the visible leadership by given by Jesus Christ. And then part of that part of the messages that were being sent is that they are saying that the Pope is the Antichrist. So, if you're receiving and actually believing those emails, pause for it. Don't fight those who send it to you, because of course they may have their minds made up already. But I just want you to have a deeper reflection. One way to destroy, that's in the dream of St. John Bosco. The enemies of the church, when they were attacking the church, their guns were trained all at the captain of the ship. So they're all trying to hit the captain. But in that same dream, when the Pope fell, when the captain of the ship fell, another one will replace him. And that is the same leadership that is continuous. But the pattern will always be to attack the leadership, especially the Pope. Again, don't mistake me with the idea that the popes are perfect. But when it comes to our faith, you cannot say that one pope, really, how can you say that the Pope is the Antichrist? The Lord made the promise that the gates of the nether world will not prevail against the church. They will not prevail. The gates of the nether world will not prevail against it. That means the Lord was wrong? Okay, so if you already believe that the Lord was wrong, and so also for those who love doomsday scenarios, those who always love end of the world things, that's why I had a meeting with our Bible study group, and this is something that we have to really focus on, because we have indeed a lot of our we are being poisoned by, really, I'm forgive me for the term that I'm using, poisoned by a worldview that we are in the end times. Jesus himself said, nobody knows. If the world will end tomorrow, whatever I say, right? See, Father, you're wrong. No. I don't know. So, if I will not pretend that I know, because Jesus himself said, no one knows. So, why are you always intent on, we say, Lord, come, but I will not force you to come. I will not make it into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right? The Lord will come in His own good time. There will be fires, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, storms. The Lord said, these will happen. But that is not the end. Right? People like apocalyptic things because it's a shortcut to cleanse the world. It's a shortcut. The Lord wants us to clean up our act by getting our hands, don't misconstrue my word, get our hands dirty, in the sense Pope Francis wants, he wants us to have our shoes scuffed, our hands dirty, perspiration. We have to do the work of creating a better world, and that is working for the betterment of society, cleaning up the environment. Why do we love shortcuts? I heard this from somebody. I wish the world will end tomorrow so that all of these problems will be gone. I think that is a lazy way of looking at solutions, miracles, a grand hand that will sweep everything away. That did not happen. And we have to keep on working towards renewal and working for what is the best. And That's why we have to make sure that we cleanse these infections that are probably defiling Catholic thought. Okay? So, if you come up with a belief that the Pope is... I know you get emails. I get them too. People send them to me. I see your posts in Facebook. There are sites out there that pretend to be Catholic, but in fact they are just political. They are political action groups. They're not really Catholic, because if you endorse a political candidate, if you visibly endorse a political candidate, then I guess that's already tainted. You are no longer speaking as a Catholic church, because you already have an ideological backdrop or agenda. So I think we have to make sure that if we are and if they attack the Pope, that should already be a red flag. If you label the Pope as the Antichrist because it does not fit a political agenda, are we political beings first and Catholic second? That means everything has to be seen through our political lenses. I think we have to be Catholic first, and then see the world, and not the other way around. I will not let my politics inform my Catholic faith. My Catholic faith should inform my politics. Okay? So, I guess this has been, this is something that we have to accept. That's why people had distrusted Catholics even before, and we have to embrace that, right? Governments in the past had, they said that Catholics are not loyal to governments. Well, it's because we have to make sure that our moral life should supersede our political life. And again, I don't like to reduce our Catholic faith into one particular political party, in one particular political line. So I feel suspicious of religious leaders who openly endorse candidates, because candidates are human beings. And if you're going to use the language of grave sin for voting one party over the other, equating our religion with politics, then, my dear friends, we have a problem over there. There's a problem there. If you can't see the problem, then maybe may I invite you to continue with our journey of prayer. I will not be saying you're wrong. No. Everybody has a journey of understanding. It takes time, right? I know I cannot dictate on how you think and approach things, but allow me just to question. Just to question certain assumptions, okay? And part of those assumptions is that people are, I have to be direct with this. There are people with political agendas who are attacking the Holy Father, because the Holy Father is putting on the spotlight on areas that may be uncomfortable for a political party. But the Catholic Church is an expansive faith. It's not just one single issue. Our saints and martyrs died for many issues. I remember the day when we opened the church. It was June 3rd of 2020. When we opened the church in the afternoon. It was the feast of St. Charles Luanga. And why was he martyred? It was because the king was an immoral man. the king was abusive. So it's not. So that was Saint Charles Lawanga and the hundreds of martyrs, including Anglican martyrs. They died for their faith for one reason. Charles, we have saints who died for the seal of confession. There are saints who died because of political reasons. Like, for example, Thomas More refused by conscience to side with King Henry VIII. He was quiet, but they forced him into a corner. He died for a political reason. Saint Oscar Romero of El Salvador, he was martyred while celebrating the Eucharist because he was standing up against killings in his country. So look at the variety of reasons why people have died for the faith. A variety of reasons. So that means, well, they had other issues. Why didn't they focus on this issue that is dear to our hearts? Of course, there are issues that are dear to your heart, but your heart cannot contain the entirety of the Catholic faith. That's why we have elections, right? Wherein we choose what issues are important, and we don't just really say beforehand, because that is very, again, I will use this word, it's very lazy for us just to say, no, because I am a Catholic, I vote this way, or I will not vote this way. Use your discernment. You pray, you weigh things, and don't pretend, don't use the word, I'm voting this way because I am a Catholic, because you might be alienating other Catholic issues. Okay? That means if I stand for one, I vote because I am a Catholic because of issue A. What about issue B, C, D? There's an entire alphabet of issues. Okay? Which are dear to the hearts of the church. Dear to the heart of the church. How can I limit it to just one particular goal and reason? And as Catholics, that's why we have to stand as Catholics, because either side, we are neither one party or the other. And if you limit your viewpoint, then that might be a disservice to the richness of our Catholic faith. I will always so please cancel out when you weigh things. Cancel out the idea that I am voting because I'm Catholic. I feel that should be canceled out. Vote with your conscience and look at the actual issues, and don't just make that shortcut. I'm Catholic, therefore I will vote this way. No. Take that out first. Because the word Catholic cannot be reduced to one issue. It is a disservice to your Catholic faith, to the Christian faith. You say, I'm Christian, therefore I vote this way. Look at the long term. If you look at the, I'm going to be the prophet of doom here, and also the prophet of hope. If we look at it that way, if we have a very narrow way of understanding our Catholic faith, then that is the pathway wherein we will lose our younger people. Look at your families right now. Look at the differences of opinions between you and your children in your voting patterns. I'm not saying that they're right exclusively, no. But please, when you weigh things, don't use exclusive terms. I'm a Catholic, therefore I have to vote this way. Because if they follow that logic, that means they're not Catholic. that these younger people who are honestly struggling and weighing things that are important for them, and then all of a sudden we tell them that your thinking is not Catholic, only my way of thinking is Catholic, we might be sending the wrong message of the narrowness of Catholic vision and the narrowness of Catholic thought. Okay, so that's why I felt that, and one of them, of course, part of our weighing things is that if people start to attack the Holy Father because he is standing for certain issues that are important, the environment is a very important issue as well. The Pope, it doesn't mean that the Pope does not speak about abortion, but is that the only issue in the world? And if you look at church history, I want you to think, martyrs who have died. Of course, we have kids who have died because of abortion, the unborn children. But how about the rest of the entire history of the church? That's one issue that we fight for, and we pride ourselves with that. But remember, Pope John Paul II also fought for liberation. When it comes to he was credited for the breaking down of the Berlin Wall. His work liberated Poland. And remember, there's a richness when it comes to the moral side of the church. So, if that is dear to you, then okay, with a clear conscience, vote one way or the other. But may I advise you not to use, when you make a choice, don't make definitions that will paint yourself in a corner that will leave you trapped. So, because that's going to be horrible, right? That's going to be horrible. So we have to. So this is an appeal to everyone. When it comes to, be honest, weigh things according to your conscience, but don't take the shortcut. Okay? Why are you voting Republican? Then you look at the issues. Okay? Look at the issues and don't just say, because I'm a Catholic, I'm voting Republican. Okay? Or I'm a Catholic, I'm voting Democratic. No. Look at the actual issues one by one. Why are you voting? And don't just follow anyone who say, if you're not voting for one party, then you're committing grave sin. A priest is only there to guide you in your conscience, not to replace your conscience. It is your conscience. That's why you go to confession, not because the priest told you of your sins. You make an examination of your own conscience before you go to confession. Right? So, you weigh things on your own. We will not replace your conscience. If at your very heart, that is what you feel. Okay? But it is, I think it is going to cripple us as human beings. If I say that you are committing grave sin, if you do one thing or the other, especially when it comes to a democratic action of voting. If you, I will not, you can vote either way, right? You can vote either way. All I'm asking is, let us remove from our thought processes certain things. For example, if you are sincerely, you really want to vote Republican or Democratic, explain this to your children. And not just hide behind shortcut arguments that I'm doing so because I'm a Catholic. Because you are going to damage the faith of young people. There, I'm going to say it. That kind of laziness. It's like why when your children ask about questions of the faith and all you give them is shortcut answers. It's because it is so. That's where we lose our children, because they don't. They're smart. Okay, so you say you give your reasons. You have your economic your economic reasons, and you say these are policies, and not because I believe that this person is anointed by God. Please don't bring God in the conversation, because you might embarrass yourselves in the end by speaking for God. And I guess that's for both parties. Okay, I cannot say that one candidate is God sent, the other is not. Remember, God also sent plagues. Okay, it's not only prophets, but also the Lord also sends us plagues, and that's not a good thing. Okay, so let us not. So let us be careful when we use those terms of being God sent. Okay, so and one sign for me that a political position is doubtful if one attacks the Pope. That is that for me it goes against the grain of my own training. Okay, as you can see, I grew up in a Salesian school which has a deep devotion. And allegiance to the Pope. I also, as when it comes to my congregation, it's part of it's ingrained in us. When it comes as members of our youth group, that is a main, that is something that's ingrained in us. And also, I'm a student of history, right? And political parties will be attacking the Pope. But the right side of history is still in the side of the promise of the Lord that the gates of the netherworld will not prevail against it. Okay. So, you pray. Okay, you pray. Thank you so much, Cora. So, it's not just, let's avoid these shortcuts because we are going to set ourselves into a trap. If you're going to vote Republican or Democrat or Independent, or there are other people in the ballot, please do so with real understanding of the issues involved. Okay, don't be threatened by a priest who will tell you, okay, if you vote for a particular party, I am here to, if you have voted for this particular party in the past, and then as priest, we are going to give you absolution, but then you have to show contrition first. I heard a priest say that. Okay, or some people will say it's grave sin for you to vote in a particular way. I have problems with that on many levels. On many levels. The least of all, the worst of all is that you might be alienating young, sincere Catholics who are also striving and fighting for certain ideals of the church, and they feel that they are being shut down. So, weigh things. There are, I believe, a lot of issues. Martyrs died for the church for different causes. And if we are going to say that my Catholic faith is only defined by one particular issue, and to hell with the rest, then, my dear friends, may I invite you to have a deeper reflection when it comes to your faith. It's a rich Catholic tradition. 2,000 years of tradition. And it is a disservice if we are going to say that only one issue is important. Because if that's the case, why do we need to discern? No. Discernment is weighing. You weigh in your heart. I will not push you one way or the other. But weigh it. But don't just allow people to short-circuit the process by telling you, if you are Catholic, you have to vote only one way. That is not true. I guess that's what my conscience tells me right now. And as your pastor, okay, this is something that we have to pray for. Thank you for indulging me tonight. I have maybe I have not seen you for a long time. I have not shared anything, and the broadcast was cut in the middle, so I have to rebroadcast. So please forgive me for this particular rant. This particular reflection, not a rant, but this particular reflection. And if you don't like what I say, then we can have a conversation. That's why you can openly talk about it here, right? Or you can email me if you don't like what I said. Then we can continue this conversation. But yeah, there you are. I think that it is my moral duty to help guide you, not who to vote, but how to discern on who to vote. And I think it makes sense, right? Because even though it will be a disservice to you if you just go and make those shortcuts. Even though if you vote one way or the other, that journey has to be a sincere one. So, our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. The Lord be with you and with your spirit. May Almighty God bless all of you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good night, everyone. Sorry for that technical glitch earlier. So I think it's because of the high demand of the internet today. So, and maybe that's why you also have problems in your own devices. Some, it works for mobile phones for some, and then for computers, it conks out. Well, it's the start of the classes. So let's keep on praying for everyone, especially for the students of Our Lady of Fatima School as well, and for all of our parishioners, your children and your grandchildren who are studying. We'll keep each one in our prayers. Good night, everyone. God bless you. See you on our next conversation on Wednesday. God bless you, and nice to be back.